Literally shattered. I could barely move it. I thought I was untouchable.
And his chin served on a platter for that right hand right there. And look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo! I know that's Ric Flair, and he came out, not to Ric Flair, he came out to Hulk Hogan, but he's up on his feet.
Joshua was going to connect with a bomb.
Yeah.
And breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah. And
His jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
We on worldwide television. Can you fight this nigga talking mad shit?
Breaking news hits hard as reality finally catches up with Jake Paul. This moment set the tone for what followed, a brutal reminder that boxing at the elite level is unforgiving. Anthony Joshua stepped in as a real heavyweight, and from this point onward, the gap in class became painfully obvious.
My jaw is literally shattered. I could barely move it. I thought I was
Fight talks were always going to lead here, but no one expected it to end this brutally. Jake Paul spent months calling out real heavyweights, chasing headlines instead of reality. The moment Anthony Joshua was mentioned, the conversation stopped being hype and started becoming a warning that Jake Paul clearly ignored.
I remember Jacob doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah. A little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know,
Logan Paul losing his composure tells you everything about the aftermath. This was not anger. This was panic mixed with embarrassment. Anthony Joshua did not just hurt Jake Paul physically, he shattered the illusion they built around him. Logan Paul can shout all he wants, but no amount of noise changes the truth. When a real heavyweight lands clean, excuses disappear. This was the moment the Paul family realized the gamble went horribly wrong. When Tyson Fury reacts like this, it is no longer internet drama, it is real boxing damage. Hospital visits are not part of hype or promotion, they are consequences. Jake Paul walked into a heavyweight reality check delivered by Anthony Joshua. Fury has seen real wars, and his reaction confirms how serious this was. This was not entertainment boxing, this was elite power meeting inexperience, and the result was inevitable.
I want to call it, and everything did an interview, just left the ring. As soon as that thing was announced, I was like, what the fuck?
This is Anthony Joshua at his most composed. Even after breaking Jake Paul down, he still showed respect without hiding the reality. Anthony Joshua acknowledged courage, but courage does not close skill gaps. Jake Paul showed heart, but heart alone cannot survive heavyweight punishment. This statement summed it up perfectly. Respect for effort, honesty about danger. That balance is exactly why Anthony Joshua is trusted as a real champion.
Knocked him out at the start, but as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best, and I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did.
Dana White said what many boxing fans have been saying for years. Size matters. Levels matter. Jake Paul fighting smaller or older opponents created false confidence. Against Anthony Joshua, there was nowhere to hide. This was not about hatred, it was about realism. Dana White exposed the problem clearly. You cannot skip the process and expect to survive elite heavyweights. Anthony Joshua represented the level Jake Paul was never ready for.
With my brother, unfixable.
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your the same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you
Duke McKenzie did not hold back, and neither should boxing fans. This was a harsh lesson, but a necessary one. Jake Paul chased clout and found consequence. A broken jaw is not unlucky, it is earned when you jump levels. Anthony Joshua could have ended this far worse, and everyone in boxing knows it. This fight reminded the world that heavyweights demand respect, not sound bites.
I'm glad Anthony Joshua did that to him, because now he won't be able to talk like he does for a while. We won't have to listen to his bullshit.
Joe Rogan's reaction captures the severity of what Anthony Joshua landed. This was not a flash knockdown or a lucky punch. That was full heavyweight force connecting clean. Jake Paul was visibly disoriented, struggling to process what had just happened. This is what happens when power meets poor defense at elite level. Anthony Joshua did exactly what heavyweights are trained to do, hurt you properly. Moments like this separate viral fighters from real professionals who understand how dangerous this sport truly is.
Stepping in as well. Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's right now. So they wipe off his gloves, but you look at him like he's really feeling it right now. I mean, he probably has no
Seeing the graphic makes everything real. This was not exaggeration or online drama. Jake Paul suffered genuine structural damage after stepping in with Anthony Joshua. A broken jaw in 2 places is the cost of ignoring boxing reality. Heavyweights hit differently, and Anthony Joshua hits harder than most. This outcome was always possible, and now it is documented forever. This is the moment hype ends and consequences begin, reminding everyone that boxing is not a game built for shortcuts.
Broken jaw, it appears, after fighting Anthony Joshua, right? I made this graphic for you guys. You see it. Got his jaw broken in 2 places.
Care of me forever and ever, a little fucked up. But when you take care of me forever and ever, a little fucked up. But when you take care of me forever and ever.
This breakdown shows just how clean the shot really was. Anthony Joshua did not clip Jake Paul, he placed the punch perfectly. Straight on the jaw, no defense, no escape. Even Jake Paul's reaction tells the story. Shock mixed with disbelief. This was the moment his confidence collapsed. Anthony Joshua executed exactly what elite heavyweights train for: accuracy with destructive intent. The X-ray only confirms what boxing fans already knew. This punch changed the entire narrative permanently.
Anthony Joshua broke Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places, and I'm about to show you the X-ray in a second, but firstly, let's watch the knockout. Right there, straight on the jaw, straight on the money. Even Jake Paul could not believe what happened. Jake Paul's jaw, you can see it is broken in 2 places.
Joseph Parker summed it up perfectly. Anthony Joshua stayed patient and trusted the process. He did not rush or swing wildly. He broke Jake Paul down step by step. That is experience talking. Chasing him down, cutting the ring, and unloading power when the opening appeared. This was not reckless aggression. This was controlled heavyweight boxing. Anthony Joshua showed maturity and understanding, proving that real champions know when to apply pressure and when to end it decisively.
Joshua did what he had to do. It took him a while to get it. He had to break him down and chase him down and unleash his powerful shot.
This reaction reflects what many fans were thinking ringside. Jake Paul dropping repeatedly showed survival mode, not competitiveness. Anthony Joshua controlled the fight, even when it could have ended earlier. Yes, it might have gone longer than expected, but the outcome was never in doubt. Jake Paul simply was not on this level. Anthony Joshua stayed disciplined and finished within the rounds without unnecessary risk. This was domination, not chaos, and sometimes control speaks louder than speed.
Terrible. Straight terrible.
Why terrible?
Cause, me personally, why is Jake going down on all 4s at least 20 times, right? And AJ's just standing there, right? Punching him up, doing this, that, and the other. I'm glad he won, okay? Because Jake is not it. I never liked Jake anyway, but like, he ain't it.
But should Anthony Joshua finish the job sooner?
He should have. But at least it was within the 8 rounds, so I'm happy that it was right.
And what?
Joe Rogan does not exaggerate moments lightly, and his reaction says everything. Calling this one of the greatest knockouts ever highlights how devastating Anthony Joshua's punch truly was. This was not about hype or promotion. This was raw shock from someone who has watched combat sports for decades. Jake Paul was frozen by a single heavyweight right hand that carried perfect timing and brutal intent. Anthony Joshua reminded the world what happens when elite technique meets natural heavyweight power. This was the punch that ended the illusion completely. Jake Paul did not just lose a fight here, he lost the narrative he spent years building.
I say to this day, and I do it based on my reaction. Obviously, this is personal. I say it's the greatest knockout of all time. First time I ever stood up, I couldn't sit down. I was standing up. I was just like, oh!
I saw that. I saw you stand up. That's the first time.
It was just, what?
This breakdown cuts straight to the truth. Anthony Joshua did not need to be flawless to be dominant. He needed to restore order, and that is exactly what he did. Jake Paul found out the hard way that boxing does not reward shortcuts. There are levels built through years of sacrifice, elite competition, and real danger. Anthony Joshua carried the weight of the heavyweight division into that ring. He fought with responsibility, patience, and authority. This performance was not about entertainment. It was about legacy and protecting the sport from turning into a circus. Anthony Joshua delivered the message boxing needed.
Just happened. What you just saw was Yes, Jake Paul finding out there's levels to this game. Yes, Anthony Joshua not having the greatest performance of all time, but him doing exactly what he had to do, what he needed to do for boxing, what he needed to do for himself, for his legacy. And
Johnny Nelson touched on something deeper than a highlight knockout. This was about mental erosion. Anthony Joshua stripped Jake Paul of belief round by round. Each knockdown, each forced retreat drained the confidence Jake Paul carried into the fight. Watching him drop to his knees repeatedly was watching reality sink in. The bravado faded, the excuses vanished. Anthony Joshua allowed the fight to expose the truth naturally. This was not a lucky ending. This was systematic breakdown. By the end, Jake Paul was not just beaten, he was humbled. This is what happens when words meet sustained heavyweight pressure.
I wanted AJ to knock this boy out clean and get rid of him, because they, you know, everybody I've spoken to, they just want, they're like, I want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. And I just said, I don't want to see him get knocked out. I want to see him get beat up. I want to see him quit. I want to see the reality of everything he's saying and doing kick in. And in a way it did happen, but he didn't get beat up. And slowly but surely the confidence, the self-belief ripped out of him to the point where he's dropping on his knees. He's like, he must have fell down about 12 times.
Anthony Joshua's honesty here makes the outcome even more powerful. He did not pretend this was perfect, but he was clear about the mission. Jake Paul was to be pinned down and punished. Anthony Joshua trusted his experience and waited for the opening instead of forcing chaos. When the right hand finally landed, it ended the discussion completely. This was not reckless violence, it was controlled heavyweight dominance. Anthony Joshua stayed disciplined and delivered exactly what boxing demanded. Jake Paul chased a moment and instead found consequences. This statement confirms it was never personal, it was professional.
Jake, everyone in this venue, now, you asked me a question. Look, it wasn't the best performance. It wasn't the best. The end goal was to get Jake Paul, pin him down and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but
after everything we've seen, one thing is crystal clear. Anthony Joshua has reminded the world why he is one of the most feared heavyweights on the planet. Jake Paul stepped in full of confidence and bravado, but he was no match for a fighter who combines size, skill, and experience at the elite level. Every punch Anthony Joshua threw carried authority, each combination systematically dismantling the illusion Jake Paul had built over months of hype. From the jaw-breaking knockout to the repeated drops that stripped away all confidence, this fight was a reality check for anyone who thought internet fame could substitute for years of discipline and elite competition. Anthony Joshua did not need to make a statement, he simply enforced the truth of heavyweight boxing with every calculated movement, reminding everyone why skill, timing, and composure matter more than flashy promotions. For boxing fans, this is a pivotal moment, a benchmark for what happens when a real champion faces a viral fighter unprepared for the harsh realities of the sport. The Paul family, critics, and casual viewers alike now know there is a line you cannot cross. Anthony Joshua's dominance was not only physical but psychological, and this fight will be dissected for years. Do you agree that Anthony Joshua has set the record straight? Join the debate in the comments below, share your thoughts, and let us know what you think should happen next in the heavyweight scene, because boxing history was made tonight.